Hello, I'm Roger back again. This is going to be another quick video, I hope, because I'm losing the plot with Flat Earth. I generally am not really in the mood for this. But, you know, here's essentially Level Earth Observer, or LEO, again, you know, with another pile of crap, where, like, you know, he gets angry, he talks about their budget and goes, oh my god, people are starving, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, because NASA's just the main problem for that, I'm sure. You know, right? And he talks about like some of the stuff, so he clearly doesn't understand what he's looking at, and because he's not interested in it, nobody should be interested in it. Yeah, you get the meaning. Because he thinks it's shit, that means then why should they do it? Because he's not interested. Okay, NASA's just shut down now. LEO, a man in Britain somewhere sitting his fat ass on a crane, is essentially not interested. Oh, no, let's shut down. Yeah, it doesn't quite work like that, alright? And then he just, like, he finds videos, either they're done by NASA, that are very simplistic and don't really show much. Like this video up here, where, like, he gets really angry about... Hang on, let me play the bit.
Let's have a fucking look.
Whoa, angry.
So they're producing CGI balls spinning round with lights flashing on it. Fucking brilliant.
Yes, have you actually bothered to see what that is? What it's for? Is this for an educational purpose? You know what I mean? I don't think NASA themselves really spent that much money developing this, if you know what I mean. This is probably one of the very few tiny things. Then he goes into this.
What a fucking shower of shit. Yeah, 61 million a day. What a fucking shower of shit.
What were you expecting? It's a sound wave coming from, you know, a star, is what I'm getting here. Yeah, so like this is one of the millions of experiments they do, Sunshine. Alright? You actually have no fucking idea. You're just picking and choosing all the little tiny bits. Like every time you try and find some research, you know, on NASA, you always seem to find the videos that have the, you know, the typical 1960s sort of, you know, sci-fi music over the top. So it's something to ridicule. Or you claim that you were given videos, claim that you were given a video as proof. Which, to be honest, that was probably given to you by another flat earther, just because it's got a purple hue. But this is you, right? If you're listening, LEO, okay, this is you in every single one of these videos. Hang on. Essentially, no proof, no evidence, no facts, just opinion. No proof, no evidence or facts, just opinion. No proof, no evidence, no information, just opinion. No evidence, no facts, just opinion. Don't know what the hell he was doing with the Wolfie thing. I think he's dropped that already. Globe Convention, well, I've seen that. That's just him being stupid. This one here, no evidence, no facts, just opinion. No evidence, no facts, just opinion. No evidence, no facts, just opinion. And again with this one, no evidence, no facts, just opinion. And this one, no evidence, no facts, just opinion. This is every single one of your videos, and like no evidence, no facts, just opinion on what you think is going on down here. Same with all of this, on what you think is going on. You know, I've torn your video on the SR-71 Blackbird apart already, and I've done it on many other things. Everything, every single one of your videos is just your opinion, and you seem to think that's enough because your arrogance dictates so. Right, let's go through just a quick little thing on, you know, NASA's budget. Right, NASA's budget. So NASA's annual budget, like you see, is $22.629 billion. Right. So apparently, this is only, and if you actually read this, this is only 0.48% of the US government's annual spending. That's absolutely nothing. Right? And let's go down here. How much do you contribute? Well, it says they did the math, right? It turns out a little more than half a penny of every federal tax dollar ends up at NASA. So half a penny. Turns out that a little more than half a penny of federal tax dollar ends up at NASA. That means that a family with the median household income of $49,777 $49,777 a year, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, which pays the family, which pays $6,000. Let's just round it down to $6,500 in federal taxes. Pays the space agency $33. So each individual family, that's a family of, means of that, right, only pays NASA $33 a year. Some people have done nowadays, spent more on that on toilet roll in the space of a short few days. So no, that doesn't spin, right? And if you want to look at other sort of things, right, Mercedes, or Daimler I should say, because they're the company that own Mercedes. Daimler's passenger car and manufacturing subdivision spent 8 billion euros in R&D expenses. That's just R&D expenses. Right? Then you've got to think about, well, that 22 billion, they've got over 17,000 members of staff to pay. Right? That's a lot of people for a lot of wages in a year. Then they've got to basically put a lot of way to, put a lot of things away. Right? So let's have a look at the certain things, right? You can go on here. This is the things that NASA can do. Go onto the NASA's website. Find some of the stuff that they're helping with. They're helping with space tech, obviously. Aeronautics, many other things. Mainframes, technology of this. Right? I found this interesting. 20 things we wouldn't have without space travel. Right? Camera phones. In the 1990s, somebody at JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories at California State, worked on creating small enough cameras. Now, 1/3 of all cameras contain this technology. Scratch-resistant lenses, CAT scans. Space program means pretty good digital imagery. The JPL played a lead role in developing this technology, which in turn helped create CAT scanners and radiography. LEDs, landmine removal, athletic shoes, basically the material that goes into it, all that kind of stuff. Foil blankets, water purification system, dust busters, ear thermometers, home insulation, the jaws of life, wireless headsets, memory foam, freeze-dried food, adjustable smoke detector, baby formula, artificial limbs, computer mouse, and portable computers. These were things that are either developed by NASA or JPL, specifically, JPL Laboratories, or by, space exploration in general. Right? Now let's have a look at other experiments. Look, there's animal biology, cell and molecular biology, microbiology, plant biology. There's so much stuff you can absolutely bloody look in it. Let's have a look. Cell science. This is probably way over my head now, but there's things to find, things to do. There's information to see. Like I said, manufacturing materials. NASA's probably had a lot of things on, future of aircraft. I do believe that they work in tandem with Boeing quite often to make new materials for fuselages for planes. So there's new aircraft materials. Legendary materials for other things like, prototype vests, which I guarantee will end up its way into many other forms of our life. 3D printing. Then you got to talk about new engine R&D. So NASA, if Mercedes spend 8 billion euros a year on research and development, can you imagine what NASA has to? 3D printing, space tech, launch systems, new materials. They don't just develop the engine. Now, there's different types of engines they must develop. Then you've got to talk about, they probably at NASA, they develop new softwares, new robotics, actual new materials, like, different forms of carbon fiber and, aluminium, and they develop probably tons of different types of composites. Electronics, different sort of things. Like we've said, they develop sort of, things for CAT scans, different way to pull in information, the science side of it, all the biology, the physics, the chemistry. I mean, it's out there for you to find, but just because your lazy ass and your fucking arrogant ass can't seem to grasp it is besides the point, right? And this is where I'm going to swear now, so if there's any children saying nobody gives a fuck what you think, Leveless Zebra, okay? Ellie, alright? Whether you think space is fake or whatever, I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass anymore. I have really started to lose interest in dealing with flat earthers, because it's like talking to a brick wall. They bring up the same points time and time again and just don't listen. Like over Twitter now, I've dealt with flat earthers that still bring up the same points, like sun rays point to the sun, or a sun's in the middle of the clouds. And then you talk to them about adjusting glare on a camera, then they block you. Much like you have, Elio, on your channel, because you don't seem to reply to me like whatsoever. What is it now? One flat earther apparently assumed that when you take the air out of a vacuum chamber, so in a vacuum chamber, he said, why don't they float like NASA teaches? So he assumed that a vacuum is the same as 0G. He thought they were the same thing. Which shows how little they know before they open their goddamn mouth. Science works whether you like it or not. Right? Hello, there's all this stuff, right? All this sort of things going on here. And like I said, an LEO is a perfect example. Flat earthers are amongst the most ignorant and yet most arrogant people I've ever come across. It's astonishing. They think they know better than trained scientists. And the reason why probably people like me and many other people around the world, when we talk about this, have probably a sense of arrogance maybe, or positivity, is because we have essentially 2,500 years worth of understanding and scientific study to back it up. Whether you think that the educational system or the world of the science is fake is besides the point. Nobody gives a shit about your opinion. Right? Now, if you want literally a good sort of video here, here's a 50-minute long tour of the ISS with no cuts in it whatsoever. Obviously, you're going to claim that there's CGI or the use of wires or whatever, which of course you will. Simple as. There's tons of bloody other videos you can go through. Some have cuts. Again, you're going to use the fact that some of these videos might have cuts and edits in them as proof of fakery. Get a grip. I mean, seriously, get a grip. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this video, right? You want to claim that everything is CGI? Right? Well, take a gander at this bit then.
Come on in. Get out of the way. There we go. You see we have full of cameras up here. And of course robotic workstation just like in the lab. And there's the beautiful Earth. So you can hang out.
Any word? No?
I don't know if you can see the arm there.
Any obvious CGI here, Lelio, other than your opinion? Other than you think CGI is being used?
Connected to it right there. And that's the position.
This is sort of thing. Look, see, the robotics arm. Now, this device now has been developed into robotics that probably go into the car industry. You know what I mean? Simple stuff like this. NASA do far more than you can possibly imagine. I've done a hell of a lot more for the educational research, for health and safety, for biological research, to medical research, to robotics, to electronics, etc., etc. It just keeps on going. Let's keep on going on this video for a bit.
Cargo vehicles made by the Italian Space Agency, as you can see, Ozzy. As you go farther aft, you'll see first is a progress
No, that's my spaceship.
It is. That is Tonto's Progress right there.
Oh, it's a Soyuz.
I know that. He's giving you a hard time. He's the cargo. So
Any words on this video,
it is
Elio,
a
or are you
Soyuz,
just
so
gonna
it's Soyuz 'cause it says so
claim
right
everything
on
and use your
the
opinion?
port side. Let's go on back. What we're gonna head
Like I
to.
said, this entire 50-minute video and 31 seconds, right, has no cuts in it whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. You know, and here's their Artemis project. Now, this Artemis project is something that's they're gonna go back to the moon at some point. And then you just look at this video on like the sort of stuff that they have to develop, the research that has to be done, because hell, space is dangerous, isn't it? You know, so, and to be quite honest with you, I think that's one of the coolest logos I've ever seen.
And prove that together we are ready to go beyond.
He's not just bloody badass. I find that logo so cool. When you talk about space exploration, there's a lot of stuff that NASA has to cover. You know, so that's like how to make food last longer, how to make humans last longer to survive the journey from Earth to Mars. You know, it's how to make air last. You know, how to make sure the human body doesn't disintegrate and crumple by the time they get to a long planet. You know, a further away planet. You know what I mean? Can they get to Mars or other planets and then get back safely? Then all the research equipment they need to take with them to do all the research, you know, so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm done with Level Earth Observer. He needs to shut his mouth, to be quite honest with you, because I've done by just every single one of his videos is just his opinion on what he thinks is going on, but then acts like that's what definitely is going on. You see the problem? But that's me. That's a bit of an angry rant. Done. But yeah, it's like talking to a brick wall, these people. Right, hope everyone's alright and keep safe. I'll see you all again.